What is up, everybody? My name is Tiger Nemesis. Today we're going over a lot of different things for Easy Delivery Code. This game came out around 2 weeks ago and I couldn't help myself to make a guide for it. I'm going to be putting timestamps so you guys want to skip ahead. This is kind of obvious already, but there are spoilers, so you guys don't want the game spoiled, skip to the part where you want and that's it, and then stop watching the video. Remember to subscribe, I guess. Does that still work? If I say subscribe, does it still show up on the bottom? Doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm putting timestamps below just so y'all know the topics I'm covering. The bobbleheads, there's 13 of them. There's hidden bunkers across the maps. I'm going to be going over the items and what they can do. There's blind bags in the pawn shops. There's endings to them. There's multiple. And then we'll go over a little bit of the lore. Let's get into it. Yeah. I actually created 3 different maps with icons where everything is at. The links are down below. I'm going to be showing them on screen right now. So the first one's going to be Mountain Town. So yeah, if y'all want to pause it right here and screenshot it, you can do it. I also left like a little bit of notes in there so y'all can find different spots and different kind of things. Next one is going to be Snowy Peak, which is the second mountain, or I mean the second area that you guys can get to. Again, y'all want to pause it to screenshot it, that's fine. Links are down below so y'all can go look at the maps on Twitter and then just save them from there, the higher resolution ones, of course. And then the third map right now is Fishing Town that you guys are going to see right here. Yeah, so again, pause it to screenshot. If not, you guys can go to the links below, find them there. That's pretty much it. So we're going to be going over to the video version of where the hell all the bobbleheads are at. There's 5 in Mountain Town, there's 4 in Fishing Town, and then there's 4 in Snowy Peak. So all right, so the first one is in Mountain Town. This is in the starting area. So when you guys start off, like literally where the game starts, you go down the street. Before you turn right here, there's going to be first bobbleheads on the right. It's right there. And you collect it, you hear a little noise. Of course, you always you got to do spinnies every single time you find one. So the second one isn't really that far off. You're going to go down this mountain over here. So when you get to the first radio tower, which you'll come across in the game already, you're going to head to the right. Try to take this rock path that's here. You are going to need the snow tires for this one, by the way. It's a lot easier to have traction on the car. There you go. Make sure you hear the little noise so you can collect it, and you must do spinnies. Spinnies are always necessary. Yeah, so the next one, so you're gonna turn right here, and then on the left side of this is gonna be on top of a building, and you gotta speed up and literally jump off the road to try to get up here. Again, if you don't land it the first time, reset immediately before even touching the ground, because that way you'll have a better chance of spawning on the top instead of on the bottom. Here it took me a couple tries for me to get it. I was able to make it. Somehow I jumped on the next one. I jumped out because I thought the car was going to fall. So the third one's right here. Make sure you hear the noise when you're touching it. And of course you must do spinnies. All right, so if you manage to stay on top and you reset it, you're going to come down the road. Just a little tidbit for the next area when we get to the bunkers. Remember this spot because you guys are going to need it. All right, so you're going to follow this road. You go first left, then you go right. And you're going to follow this one again, left and then right. And right here on the left hand side, there's actually gonna be a break in between the buildings. Go in there. You snow tires would make this easier, but you don't really need them. I mean, to go back you do, because otherwise you're gonna be stuck. But yeah, there's your fourth bobblehead right there. Make sure you hear the noise. Make sure you do spinnies. You got it. You got to do spinnies. So the last one that's in Mountain Town, you're gonna go back up to the road that you just came out of, and you're gonna dash it this way and jump on top of this roof. And there you go. There's the last one in Mountain Town. Again, as tradition, you will hear the noise and you must do spinnies. As tradition. I'm going to make it tradition. Y'all got to do spinnies. By the way, one thing I did want to mention with the bobbleheads, every time you touch one or you grab a new one, it'll show up in your car on the dash. If you go into first person mode in the car, you can see it. It's right there. When you click on a new one, it's going to show up. You can only have one at a time. There's 12 for each store owner that's inside this entire game. And then there's one for you. And the one for you is actually in MK's house. You got to go over there to get it. But yeah, you'll hear noise every single time you activate it. You can push it once to activate it. It'll show up in the car. Push it again, it'll deactivate, and then you'll have no bobbleheads in your car. But who wants to have no bobbleheads? Spinnies. I don't know. Let's move on to the next one. So the next 4 are going to be in Snowy Peak. I suggest having snow tires, which probably by this point you might already have them if you already got the Snowy Peak. So you're going to get out of the tunnel from Snowy Peak, head up the road on the right, go all the way up to the gas station. Behind the gas station, there you go. You're going to find the bobblehead right here at the edge. Again, make sure you hear noise. do spinnies. The second one for Snowy Peak is actually going to be on top of Mountain. From the gas station, turn around, head down all this route and go back towards MK's house, cross the cement bridge, and then go all the way to the top of Mountain. If you guys don't know where that's at, check the map that I made. It's going to be on the end where Mountain is at. So after you pass the bar, you're going to head left. You have to do this like shimmying thing to go up the hill. That's why you guys need the snow tires. It's going to make it a lot easier, but still kind of hard. This is the hardest one to get out of the whole game, from my opinion. So you got to do this little shimmying thing that I'm doing here on screen. You guys have to do that. Otherwise, there's really no way to get up there. And there's no like rock part without snow for you to get traction. When you guys get up here, there's going to be a bunker, which again, we'll get to later. But yeah, if you go past the bunker, that bobblehead's going to be right here. Again, make sure to hear the noise and do spinnies. While you guys are up here, that bunker I mentioned earlier, we're going to get to more details about it a little bit later. You guys will be surprised with what's in there, but yeah, head in there and grab the items that are in there. Let's finish up all the bobbleheads and we'll come back to the bunkers. So the third bobblehead is going to be to the right of Lopton. So if you're on top of Mountain, how you were from the last bobblehead, you're going to take the actual bridge going north towards Lopton. Take the first right when you get to the bridge, go all the way to the end. When you guys see the bridge that goes towards the radio tower, which is south, don't go to the bridge. Instead, go up the road and do the U-turn to the left. There's going to be 2 sets of lights. Pass those lights first. When you get to the second set of lights, do a U-turn. And on the left side of the road, now you're facing eastbound. On the left side of the road, there's going to be a little snow hill. Go up that snow hill, go to the end of the road. You're going to see the bobblehead right there. Of course, as always, make sure you hear noise. And of course, do spinnies. If you guys are lost where you're at right now, again, refer to the map. In the map, I literally make a little dot and a line to go out to where you're supposed to be right here. That way makes it a little bit easier for you guys to get there. I'm also doing the same thing for pretty much every of the other bobbleheads, so you guys can see the routes, because it's a little bit hard to kind of tell from here based on where you're at and stuff. But yeah, follow the routes. Again, if you guys are lost, refer to the maps that I made. Should make it a lot easier for you guys. So and again, this is going to be the same thing for the next one that's in Snowy Peak, which is the last one here. From that last bobblehead, we just got the third one. Go back to the bridge that you just passed earlier. Take that bridge all the way to the radio tower. When you get to the top of the radio tower, to the right of the stairs, you're going to do like a U-turn to the right to go up that hill. Again, try to use that little snake method I showed you guys earlier. Once you get up the hill, it's going to be right behind the trees. Once you touch the bobblehead, make sure you hear the noise to confirm that you got it. And then, of course, spinnies. All right, so the next one's going to be in Fishing Town. So when you guys get out of the tunnel from Fishing Town, don't move. Go to the right, hit that guardrail in between the 2 cabins. There you go. It's right there. Again, remember to hear the noise. And I remind you guys of that because there's sometimes where like you kind of get closer and you don't know if you got it or not. It'll make 2 distinct noises. One to know that you got it and one to take it off your dashboard. Make sure you do spinnies. And let's move on. So for the next one, you are going to need the ice chains for your truck. So what you're going to do is from that last bobblehead, we're going to go down this road to the right. After you cross the bridge, you're going to do a little U-turn towards the ice and go straight. Follow that little line that I just did right here. What you're going to do is once you see the pillar for the bridge, immediately go left. You're going to see this little like snow island. Make sure you hear the noise. Make sure you do spinnies. Those are 2 important things. Don't forget. So the last one's a little bit difficult to get to. My best suggestion is go back to the tunnel that connects it to Mountain and then turn around and then take this road that I'm taking here. So what you're going to do is just cut through the road to go to the little stores that are south of Clifton. There's going to be a hidden road on the left that follows all the way to where Dampton is at, to the top, right? Make sure to build a speed because there's these little ramps that you have to make it through. And then once you get to the bridge, there's going to be a pillar for the train bridge that's above. You'll see both of them on the right. They're going to be right here on the left. And get out. Make sure you grab each one and make sure you make the sound effect for each one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are all 13 of the bobbleheads on the maps. Again, if you guys get lost, refer to the maps that I made or go back to any of the timestamps. I have them all below. Move on to bunkers. So starting off with Mountain Town. Remember how I told you guys earlier that once you head down the route to Mountain Town, there's going to be a bunker right there. So yeah, go back up this way. Head to the right. You are going to need snow tires for this one. Either that or, I mean, you can hoof it up there, but you're probably going to freeze to death. Jump in here. Make sure to use your lighter. Grab the items that are in there. I'm not going to spoil what the items are that are in there. When you guys grab them, you guys will see. Again, there's a total of 3 bunkers. There's one for Mountain Town, one for Snowy Peak, and one for Fishing Town. I wasn't able to find one for the other area that I'm not going to mention right now. All right, so now the one for Snowy Peak. This one is the one I mentioned for you guys earlier. I hope you guys went in there because otherwise you guys have to hoof it back all the way up here. And it's, like I said, it's a bitch to get up there. Anyway, so if you guys were able to get in here, the way clothing works in this game is you attach it to yourself. It's already attached. Anytime you touch a trash can that's nearby, it'll say clear it will clear off the clothing item from you. Now, the reason I mention that is because when you get up here, the item that I mentioned earlier that I didn't really mention it, but the item that's up here is a scarf. This is the only place you can get that scarf. You cannot attach it anywhere else in the game. Also, if you attach the scarf and then go to one of the other stores and let's say attach a hat or something, when you touch that trash can and clear out the items, it's going to clear off the scarf. So the only way to get the scarf again is if you make it all the way back up here. So try not to use a trash can if you prefer to use another clothing item for your head, because there's a couple of them. We'll get into it a little bit later. If you want to get another item, just get the other item to clear it out. Do not hit the trash can, because then again, if you need the scarf, you're going to have to go all the way back up here to get it. There's photos in a couple different areas on the map. Some of them are inside of the stores. Some of them are inside the bunkers. These all show up in MK's house in Snowy Peak. From what I understood, I don't see a benefit of the clothes at all, like for them to lower the energy consumption or anything. So this is just aesthetic purposes, but again, it's a pretty cool item to have, so just keep it on you at all times. So the last bunker is over here in Fishing Town. There's the gas station that's on the right once you cross the bridge. Just past the gas station, go to the right. Gonna be pretty easy to get up here. Again, remember that you need the snow tires for this one, and jump in here. Every random time that you go in there, you'll find a little random item here and there. Like you'll find either energy drinks that are already been drunk, so just the cans themselves, or you'll find like a firewood item, so it's pretty cool. I don't know why I'm doing spinnies in this one. Come on, spinach. One small thing to note that we'll get later into the lore, but since you're already up here in Fishing Town, there is a bunker that you guys can get to. It's not really a bunker, but it's part of the story. When you guys take this elevator down to the dam, there's actually a secret area. You can access MK's hidden computer here. So if you follow this route, you go into the downstairs. There's shelves, right? And this is where you get the radio later into the story. Again, spoilers. Once you get to the shelves, there's a section on the in between, I believe it's the 4th and the 5th shelf. If you go down this area, you'll find a hidden route that leads to MK's computer. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys, but if you guys follow this right here, you guys will find it. And then, yeah, go ahead and read the computer. It's kind of creepy what he says, but all right, so let's get to the item list. So here, I'm going to go over all the items that are in the game and what they do. So the first one is the recovery disc. This one I actually didn't buy because I did it as part of the story. You guys will understand it later, but I don't actually know how much it costs because I kind of stole it. Again, when we get to the endings, you guys will understand it. It's good to steal stuff in the game at a certain point, but you guys will understand what I mean when I get to it later. So if you guys want to know where it's at, it's actually in the Easton Pawn Shop. So in Mountain Town, it's on the south side of the map. All right, so the radio is going to be in what we just talked about earlier in the dam. It's part of the story. You guys will find it on the when you go down to the dam, it's on the last shelf on the right. You guys are going to need that. Again, it's part of the story. So before we get into the items, there's actually something I wanted to explain about the energy and how it works in this game. So you have the original 4 bars that you guys see on the bottom left hand side of your screen. And there's also another 4 on top of that. They look like little electrical signals. And those are just reserve energies, right? So you need those. You get those from eating things in the game or drinking energy drinks or some of the other items as well. One of the things they don't mention in the game is there's a couple of items that actually give you protection from freezing. And we'll go over those in a bit. There's specific items that give you more energy. There's some items that give you energy and the protection from the cold that lasts for a certain amount of time. But again, we'll get into it once we start explaining the items. The first item is the coffee powder. This is honestly the best value that you can get for restoring your energy. So this costs $6.98. It restores 3 bars of your energy. Each bag brews 3 different cups. You are going to need a stove or a bonfire. We'll go into that a little bit later, but this is the best value before you actually are able to get the fish soup because it's a lot cheaper than the energy drinks and it brews 3 cups. The first time I brewed one of these bags at MK's house, I thought it just gave you 1 coffee, like coffee drink. It gives you 3, just so you guys know that. All right, so the next item is the tea bags. This actually costs the same thing as the coffees. It's $6.98. This restores 1 bar of energy, so it's less than the coffee, but it actually stops you from freezing for around 30 seconds and it stops you from losing energy for those 30 seconds as well, which is really good if you're venturing out into the cold or going up into one of the damn radio towers. Also, just to let you know, for the tea bags and the coffee powder, you're going to need a pot and a bonfire. You can also do this at MK's house if you don't want to use your own wood and build your own bonfire out in the cold. The next one is an energy drink. It's pretty much like a little Red Bull. It's $4.75. It restores 1.5 bars of energy. It's the same price in store as it is in the vending machines that you guys see across town. All right, so the next item is going to be firewood. This one costs around $20 at $19.95. For this one, you combine 2 of them and you need the lighter to light a bonfire. You could do this anywhere where there's snow. It'll last for probably like around, I think it was like 2 minutes it lasted for me. It'll stop you from freezing And they kind of suggest that when you're playing the game because they need you to go up to the radio towers, and when you're going up you're already freezing your ass off and you're probably gonna die unless you have firewood, so make sure to bring one. MK's house already has a built-in fire, you don't need it for that. Once you get to Fishing Town, you can actually go into one of the fishing huts. And again, we'll get to that a little bit later. But for the stoves, you actually just need one piece of firewood. All right, so the duct tape is next. This one costs $7.96. This one actually secures the cargo to the truck bed. So the package actually stays on the truck no matter how many times it tumbles. Just as a side note, you do not lose money. If, let's say, for example, you're doing a delivery that has 3 boxes and you're driving and the 2 boxes on top fall off, you don't lose any money from that delivery, right? If you happen to tumble and that last box falls out and you have to go pick it up and put it back in, you lose tip money. If you guys do a lot of reckless driving where your packages are always falling out, buy the tape and secure it. That way you do as many tumbles as you want, you're not going to lose any tip money and your packages are not going to fall away from the car. Okay, the next item is kind of confusing a little bit. It's Birdseed. This costs $7.98. You can actually give it to the crows that you guys see when you're driving around on the map. You don't have to be in an area where the crows are at. You could just go to a random ass area, throw it there. They'll show up. When you throw the birdseed out, let's say you throw 1 bag out, right? You'll throw out like 3 or 4 little bits and pieces. The crows will come, they'll eat it, and after a given time, they'll give you money back as like a thank you for it. Sometimes I've broken even where I spent like 30 bucks and they give me 30 bucks back in coins. They'll literally just give you money back for some odd reason. Other times they'll give you less. Most of the time they actually give you a good amount back, but this is just for like, I guess for the game's sake, for you just to feed the crows because they're in the game. But other than sometimes getting money back, there's really not a benefit to doing this. So all right, so we come to the infamous fish soup. So for this one, this is the best value in the game as opposed to the coffee. So once you're able to get these items, you need the fishing rod, you need the pan, you need firewood, the lighter. So what you're going to do is once you have these items, you're going to go to one of the fish shacks that's on the map in Fishing Town. You guys will see it on screen right now. I'm putting the Fishing Town map back on screen. What you're going to do is you're going to go to one of these shacks that are circled here on the map. Once you get in there, make sure to walk to the shack. Do not drive because you will drown and then you're gonna have to do it all over again. Make sure to work on the fire first. Put 1 firewood in the stove, put your pot up, make sure to light the fire, make sure you're in there all cozy. What you're gonna do is you're gonna fish. So you're gonna throw your fishing lure line out. The fish is gonna bait you by making a splash once. When it makes a lot of splashes, hit your action button. You're gonna pull a fish up, put your fishing rod away, pick up the fish, throw them into the pot. It's gonna take around a good, I think around 30 seconds for it to cook. Once it does cook, it will yield 1 fish soup. While it's cooking, fish for more fish. Keep doing this. As long as the stove is on, keep doing this process. Get your fish it out, put it in the pot, make it cook. While it's cooking, fish for another fish, and you'll probably have 2 or 3 by the time the first one is done. Once the fish soup is done, grab it, either drink it or store it. I would say store it, and keep doing that for the remainder of the time that you have the fire going, because the fire goes on inside the hut for probably a good 5 minutes. So you can get maybe a good 5 or 6 fish soups in that time, which again is the better value than going for the actual coffee pots. Now, the fish soup gives you 4 bars of energy. It stops you from freezing and losing energy for 15 seconds. So you guys will see again that little coffee icon on the bottom left. If you guys have the chance, stay here for like 30 minutes. Just keep rounding these up all the time for yourself so you guys can store them for later. All right, so just to kind of quick run through these are items that you're going to get as part of the game anyways. I still thought I'd cover them anyways because they're part of the game. So in the Easy Depot, you're gonna get the lighter. That one's 20 bucks. The cooking pot is 60 bucks, and the fishing rod is 126. That one is part of the story. One side note as well, for the cooking pot, you can actually use that at MK's house. That one I would suggest doing to brew your coffee or tea while you still have the chance before going to Fishing Town and being able to get your own fish soup. And just to finish it off for the items that are in the game, you're gonna get the snow tires. Those are 22 bucks. The bumper bar is $99, and then the ice chains are 200 bucks. All right, so the next topic we're going to discuss is the blind bags. So the blind bags are pretty much just a random item that you get. It's either going to be a paint job for the truck, or it's going to be a wearable item for the main character. So the first one is in Mountain Town. There's 4 bags in each pawn shop. Each give you 1 item, right? And they're each $50. So in Mountain Town, the first one is a blue baseball cap. You guys can see it right here. The second one is a blue bucket hat. The third one and the fourth one are spray paints for the truck. The first one is the blue color that you guys see right here. And the next one is the red one that you see right here as well. So for the next one, you guys are going to go to Snowy Peak, go to the pawn shop that's in here. Same deal, 4 blind bags, 2 clothing items, and 2 spray paints for the truck. The first one is a cat baseball cap, and the next one is a wool toki. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then the 2 spray paints for the truck, it's black, and the second one's gonna be gray. Keep in mind, you can also hit the trash icon here to get rid of it if you want to just go back to the original truck color. So the last one's going to be the fishing town. For this one, you're going to get the green baseball cap. There's also a fishing hat. And the 2 spray paint colors is green. And the next one is beige. All right, and again, spoilers ahead, I'm going to talk about the 3 endings. So there's 3 endings to the game. There's a reboot, a shutdown, and a restore. So for these ones, I'm actually not going to show a video. I'm just going to tell you about it so that way you guys can still go through the game and see it for yourselves. So the first one is the good ending, where you reboot. Reboot pretty much puts all the shop owners erasing all their memories or all their bad memories, and only the main character that you're using and MK knows pretty much what's been happening in the town. The reason this is the good ending is because if you guys interact with the shopkeep owners from time to time, they'll give you like error codes. We'll get into that when I speak about the lore, but pretty much they're corrupted at certain points and they're always mad, which is something that's really weird throughout the game. And unless you know why that's happening, this is technically the good ending, because all those bad memories are restored. I mean, all the bad memories are erased, and then they just have good memories from now on, which also gets you better prices in gas. And as a recommendation, just a little side note, do the reboot ending first. Do not do the shutdown ending, because you guys are going to get both of those as the first options. Do the reboot ending first. All right, so before I talk about the next ending, make sure to fill up your gas tank. It's very important that you do that, and you guys will see exactly why I mean that right now. Also, you're going to go on a crime spree, so you need a lot of gas. All right, so the next one is the shutdown ending. This is the bad ending. So this one actually shuts down the hydro dam, which cuts off electricity to all 3 towns and the shop owners themselves. And again, it doesn't make any sense right now, but you guys will see it when I talk about the lore later. But the shop owners don't work, meaning they're shut down. They literally cannot talk. They're just frozen. So the reason why I said to fill up on your gas tank is once you do the shutdown ending, load the game again and go back into Mountain Town. Go into one of the shop owners' stores. They're just going to be frozen, which doesn't make any sense. I'm going to explain it a little bit later when I get to the lore part, but this is where I mean that it's confusing as hell, but also you're going to take advantage of this. You can literally loot the whole store. So if you go into one of either the Easy Mart or the pawn shop, you can actually steal everything that's in there. And the way you're going to do that is you just grab an item and walk out of the store and then unequip it, go back into the store and grab all the items. The reason I tell you to do this fast is because you are going to freeze to this, because now the stores do not have heating in the stores. So you will freeze. Go into the store, grab an item, walk out with it. Don't even get back into your car. Unequip it, go back in the store. Continue this process until you steal everything in the store. That sounds a lot worse than I should have, but if you're about to freeze, jump back into your car, wait for a bit for the freezing effect to dissipate, and then go back in the store and keep clearing them out. Now, the reason why I say to fill up on your gas tank is because once your car stops working, the heater doesn't work anymore. So you will die, and then you'll just be stuck in an infinite loop where you have no gas, you end up dying, or you go outside and you end up dying there as well. Also, one of the things I mentioned before is there's going to be a recovery disc. This is for the good ending that you guys are going to need. This is in the Easy Pawn Shop that is in Easton. Also in Mountain Town. Again, you guys can just swipe it. It usually costs $300, but I mean, if you do the shutdown ending like how I'm explaining to you right now, grab the item, run out the store, and just keep it in your inventory. You're going to need this for the restore ending a little bit later. Keep going on your crime spree, I guess, until you're about to run out of gas or dangerously close to running out of gas. You can visit all the stores in the 3 towns and just clear them out, which I suggest you do, so you save on money and you get a crap ton of stuff in your inventory. Once you're done being a little crime cat, get your ass back to the damn hydro dam, go back to where you did the endings, and at this point it's going to give you an option to do a restore. So that restore disc is going to have all the shopkeep owners' good memories. Use that, go through that ending, and yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so moving on from the endings, there's a couple things that we're going to talk about in regards to lore in the game. One of them is actually a hidden Morse code that's in the game that you can hear it once you turn on all 3 radio towers. You can hear it in Snowy Peak. All right, so this is the audio file from that. It's cleaned out, so you guys can just hear that. and it just kind of repeats off from there. So what I was able to do is this goes into Morse code, and then I have no idea what the hell it means. Somehow I throw it into ChatGPT. It said to convert it into a hex string, which it shows up like this, and then apparently a cleaned up hex string shows up like this. And from what I was able to see, again, I'm really not good at this. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell was going on. It translates out to IOU. Make of that what you will. I didn't get it. Let's go into the story and the lore. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is that the entire game seems to be fake, or like a Matrix type situation. Even the boot screen, when you guys see the boot screen, it says optical sensors on, and then it switches the camera on so you can actually see the city. So it makes it seem like you're doing some kind of training program. The second reason why I think it's a Matrix-esque situation is when you choose a shutdown ending, all the shop owners don't work, which doesn't make sense. If they were actual like sentient beings, that wouldn't happen. Also, one of the things to mention besides that, there's no roads leading out of town. There literally is no escape. That further contributes to the fact that I think it's a simulation. The train also above you doesn't stop in the town, which you think it would, especially in a town that has a lot of snow. But yeah, it doesn't even stop there. It's just an illusion to make you think that there is some kind of escape, and there isn't. One other thing to mention is that when you guys are in Fishing Town and you're driving around in the actual ice or in the hydro dam location, I at first thought that when you're driving on the ice lake, it eventually ends up breaking and you fall and you die. This isn't the case. There's actually a monster in there that chases you, or some kind of sentient being or something that chases you and drowns you purposely. Another thing that kind of contributes to the fact that you might be in a Matrix situation is that when you die, you go into this like little maze. You don't just like, sometimes you respawn depending on how you die, but most of the time you go into this maze that has these really weird sounds depending on where you're going. It also makes me think that there's something more to the maze that we think. And at some of these times when I died, I actually tried going towards the sounds to see if I can get to it, and I wasn't able to do it, or to get to it. So I don't know what's there, but I'm pretty sure there's something in there. But one of the other things as well is all the photos that you collected throughout the game that are in the stores and in the bunkers, they all show up at MK's house, like as if they're all memories from past times that something's been going on. And because it's low res, I can't tell what's in the damn pictures, but I know there's a secret in there and I can't find it. Another thing to further contribute to the fact that this is like a Matrix-esque situation is that the main character never sleeps. Like, you're just drinking energy drinks and fish soup and coffee and tea, and this fool never sleeps. One of the other things to mention, I don't know what category to put this in, but when your car runs out of gas, the heater doesn't work anymore, so you can actually freeze to death. The only downside to running out of gas is your car still works. It just works slower. There's less torque in it when you're going uphill. Also, it goes slower, so your deliveries are going to be slower. You're going to be wasting more gas when you do that, but you technically can't run out of gas. I pushed it as far as I could in the clip that you guys are seeing right here. It'll give you the low gas indicator, and then after a certain amount of time, you have probably like another quarter of gas past the E in empty, where you guys can keep driving. Once you get to that point, you guys can actually keep using the car, but not for long because it won't heat you up anymore. So it's kind of like being outside, so you have to put gas, which is kind of like a catch-22, because then you can't do deliveries if you're going to be freezing to death, and then you're going to be using items to keep up, and it's just a whole mess. So don't ever let your car run out of gas. Also, one last thing, and this is just a tidbit for the game. The radio works just like a regular radio works in our cars, where you can scan for the signal in that area, and then once you get all the strong signals, you can just switch in between those stations. Just as another side note, in regards to the radio towers, the other three are pretty easy to get to, but the hardest one to get to is the one that's in Mountain Town. In between the Mountain Town entrance and the Fishing Town entrance, there is a radio tower that's right there. You're meant to go up that area from the Fishing Town entrance going into Mountain Town. You're supposed to go up the stairs and then use a bonfire to not freeze to death. However, there is a different way to get up there. It's a lot easier. If you guys take this route downhill, again, it's mentioned on the map that I put, that I'll put up on screen again right now. Once you follow this route, you can actually, it's a little bit hard to get to, but if you follow the route that I outlined here, you can actually get to the top of that without having to get out of the car. Get out of the car afterwards, turn on that radio tower, and just a little tidbit, and that's it. All right, everybody, thank you very much for watching. That's pretty much it. If there's something that I missed, please make sure to leave it in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, or if I helped you find any of the items here, or if you guys want to put any tips down below to help anybody else out, feel free to share this video with anybody else that you want to play this game. If you haven't played this game yet, go get it. It's like less than 20 bucks. It's worth every penny, especially if you like older school games. Also, there's a button that down here somewhere, if you guys are watching this within the first week that I'm releasing this video, there's a button that says hype. Please click on that. It helps out the algorithm to show this to more people, especially people that are playing this game, because I don't see a lot of content on it, so I want to help out as many people as possible, and hopefully this video helped you out as well. Last but not least, if I did help you find at least one snow cat that you weren't able to find before, just comment down below with the snow cat. I mean, just snowman, cat, snow cat, something with a snow. The most comment down below. That's pretty much it. So thank you everybody very much for watching. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the deal. That's pretty much it. Take care, guys. Peace. You.